What's good, Arsenal fans? How y'all doing? Welcome to your favorite show, Excalibur Clock End. I am DBNK, the OG DBNK. Please do like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. This is episode 1, and we're gonna be here. We're gonna be here talking Arsenal, seeing what we can make of what's going on in the Arsenal at the moment. So yeah, we're gonna just look at different perspectives, some old perspectives, and see where we can go with that, right? So listen, I just wanna I think as episode 1, we just wanna just take a look at things in general, see what things are looking like, where things are going, and yeah, just try and make sense of everything. So like I was thinking, and I was like, what am I gonna call this? What am I gonna call this episode 1 show? And what I came down to was, listen, Arteta's teething issues. You know what I mean? Because as a rookie head coach, manager, right? Has he done well? I'd say yes. Has he done badly? Overall, I'd say no. Right? I'd say no. I'm not these new Arsenal fans, and I know the history of Arsenal Football Club, and I think that's a problem with the new generation of Arsenal fans. They might not know their history, they might not know. I mean, I'm not gonna act like Arsenal Football Club are serial winners, serial trophy winners, because quite frankly, that's not it. But what I do know the history of Arsenal is, once we get in a race, right? Once we get in a title race, listen, we try by all means. We do what we can. At that point in time, we do what we can. Now we're not always in a title race, but when we do get in there, I know it's to go for the kill. All right. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Arsenal Football Club basically is known as a entertaining team, right? When you watch Arsenal Football Club, you come to be entertained, right? You come to be entertained. And the past couple seasons, that's not been happening to a regular level, should I say? It's not been happening to a regular level, but I think our main problem as a football club is we've always had great squads, but in our first 11 we've always had a deficiency, right? We've always had a deficiency of, we have all other positions sorted out, but every time there is either one or two positions that our managers fail to figure out, right? With Arsene Wenger, what position was that? Defensive midfield, right? He had the attacking central midfielders. He had the flair, but what he didn't have was the solidity behind it. And I think the closest thing after Gilberto Silva, the closest thing Arsene Wenger came to with that was Alexander Song, right? After that, we seen the Coquelins, we seen, yeah, we characters. We have seen characters. So this has been a deficiency with Arsenal, and it didn't end with Arsene Wenger. For time, we looked at Arsene Wenger and we'd be like, what if he put a proper defensive midfielder alongside Santi Cazorla? What if he put a proper defensive midfielder alongside Cesc Fabregas? I mean, not saying Alexander Song was a bad defensive midfielder, but I think we could have done better. We could have done better. But when you actually deep it, let's come to Mikel Arteta now, right? Let's look at Mikel Arteta's reign in football. Now, we've needed a striker since Lacazette and Aubameyang left 3 to 4 seasons ago, and 4 seasons on, we're still waiting for a replacement for Lacazette and Aubameyang. Now, how come 3 seasons on without a recognizable striker? How are we going 3 to 4 seasons without a recognizable striker? Like, you're a good manager, but I have a question. Why is it damn near your entire first 11 plays out of position? Right? First of all, you make your first title charge, right? and you realize, you know what? Well, we did well. I brought in Zinchenko, I brought in Gabriel Jesus. They changed the team. A lot of Arsenal fans will tell you that Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko didn't do anything for Arsenal Football Club. That's a lie, right? Don't get it twisted. That is a lie. That's not true, right? They leveled Arsenal Football Club up. So those were actually two great signings by Mikel Arteta. I'll big him up for those two, right? Now, after that, what did he do, right? He raised this up a level. As soon as those two came in, what happened? We challenged for the league, right? We challenged for the league. Arsenal Football Club is in the title charge, right? We challenged for a league with Granit Xhaka, but fortunately, due to injuries, we fell short, right? We fell short. We lost Thomas Partey towards the end of the season. If I'm not mistaken, we lost William Saliba towards the end of the season. Rob Holding had to come in. Like, it was a miss. It was a miss. So we fell off, right? So he was like, okay, going into the summer, what do we need? We need a Declan Rice. We need we need two. Basically, we needed two central midfielders going into the summer, right? So he was like, okay, we need a Granit Xhaka replacement, first of all. And probably we might just get rid of Thomas Partey. So we're going to need a replacement for him as well. Right? So what did we do? We went and got Declan Rice, right? We overpaid for him. If we're gonna be real, we overpaid for him, right? If we're gonna be real, then we should be real for each other, right? Manchester City offered, if I'm not mistaken, £85 million, and we was like, okay, if City's offering that much, we're gonna go over the odds. We're gonna offer you 20 million more, right? And City was like, you know what? That's cool. We got Rodri. We don't need to play 100 million for a defensive midfielder who can't play the ball out the back. Say that very nonchalantly, but you ask if you ask yourself the question, why is Declan Rice not playing in that sixth role? That's the only answer that comes to you right there. The only difference between Declan Rice and Rodri of Manchester City Football Club is Rodri can do everything that Declan Rice can't. The reason Thomas Partey is preferred to Declan Rice at Arsenal Football Club is the same reason Rodri is better than Declan Rice in that position, right? Rodri is just as good at everything that Declan Rice is great at. Right? Rodri is just as good at everything Declan Rice is great at. But Rodri is that much better because he can do that Thomas Partey role. He can play the ball out the back, which is why Pep Guardiola, when West Ham was like, we want 100 million, Pep was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm not convinced that this guy can actually play the role I want him to come in and play to the level I want him to play it at. So you know what? If they're offering you 100 million, you can have that, right? So that's what it was, right? Now, do that. You pay 100 million over the odds for a central midfielder that you're gonna play out of position. Imagine playing 105 million pounds for a central midfielder only to play him out of position, right? And then you wonder, why can't I get regular performances from my first 11? Well, half of them are playing out of position. Well, damn near half of them are playing out of position, and I'll come back to that, right? Damn near half of your first 11 is playing out of position. So I don't know how much consistency you can expect from that. From a first 11, from a unit, when they playing oppositions who more times than not are playing in their strongest position against an Arsenal Football Club 11 who are playing in their makeshift positions. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I said, I'll come back to it. Now, you go into that sum after your first title charge, you buy Declan Rice, 105 million pounds. You look at Kai Havertz at Chelsea struggling, and you're like, you know what? Y'all paid 65 million for that guy. I'm gonna give you back your 65 million for that guy because I think I can make something of him, right? That was a mistake on it, Mikel Arteta's on Mikel Arteta's part. Why do I say that was a mistake? That was a mistake because you're paying over the odds for a player who's not been performing. Not only are you paying over the odds for a player who's not been performing, but you're also agreeing to give him wages that are gonna cash strap you when you actually go look for a game changer, somebody who will affect the way your first 11 actually plays, somebody who will win you games, a game winner, right? What do I mean? Okay, 2 seasons on, let's look at this past January winter window, right? Arsenal Football Club, in fact, we'll even go back to the summer. Arsenal Football Club need a forward, have been needing a forward since Aubameyang and Lacazette, right? Now, 2025 January, Jesus injured, right? Bukayo Saka injured. Are you under normal circumstances? Under normal circumstances, what happens, right? Your owner, your manager will be like, okay, let's put our heads together. Let's get us a center forward, right? Who's your main target? Okay, Alexander Isak is our main target. All right, so how much does he cost? I mean, they're talking about 150 million pounds. How much wages does he want? Well, he's definitely going to want plus 250,000 pounds. What do? Let's go back to the summer. Okay, in the summer, yeah, right now, we actually need a striker. So 150 they're talking about, that's a little too much. What other options do we have? Well, there's Gyökeres over there, and there's Osman, who's actually looking for a place to land because he's not coming with, right? So turn your nose up at Victor Osman, turn your nose up at Victor Gyökeres. Cisco says, you know what, I'm gonna just stay and do what I'm doing here for another season, you know? It's like, why are these center forwards not too enthusiastic? It's not even like they're not too enthusiastic. Like one of them, Cisco, the worst of the lot, is saying he wants to develop his game, which is fair. You know, he's young. He wants game time. He wants to make the most of his growth. So you're like, okay, fine. Stay, develop yourself. We'll see you next summer. Maybe we'll still have a slot for you and we'll come back for you. Hopefully you'll have improved your game by then. Okay, fair. Right? Now, from there, Victor Gyökeres. Not convinced by Victor Gyökeres? Okay, fine. What about Victor Osman? Not convinced either. Come on, Mikel Arteta, you're a good manager, but I have to question, why is it damn near your entire first 11 plays out of position? I've said this before, right? Now, first of all, your entire first 11 plays out of position, and then you can't buy a center forward to play at center forward. You, in fact, would rather play a central midfielder who failed at the position that you actually brought him in to play after you actually gave him high wages, right? If you don't know now, you know I'm talking about Kai Havertz, right? So you pay 65 million pounds for a central midfielder who, at the end of the day, can't play in the position that you bought him to play in. So you transfer him to a position that you actually need to bring in a body, right? But now this player that you're moving from his position that you paid 65 million pounds for, he is on 275 million pound wages, right? 275, did I say million? Sorry, 275,000 pound wages a week, right? That's Kai Havertz. So now you're moving him from central midfield to center forward on 275,000 pound wages, right? Now, you already got Gabriel Jesus on, not sure, I think 250 plus minus wages. So you put Gabriel Jesus and you take Kai Havertz, that's over 500,000 pounds worth of wages a week on two guys that you recognize now as your center forwards, right? So now when you come to your owners and you say to your owners, I need another striker, your owners look at you and they say, you already got two guys for that position who are earning 200 £150,000 a week each, plus over, right? So collectively, they're on 500,000 a week. And now you want to bring in a third guy who's going to get you close to 750,000 a week, right? In the same position. That's a problem. That, in my opinion, is why Arsenal Football Club didn't get a centre forward in the summer. That's why Arsenal Football Club didn't get a centre forward in January, right? So what's your solution? What's my solution? My solution is you go into that summer window, you sell. Either you sell one of those centre forwards that you've got on those wages, one of them two got to go, right? Either that, or you come to an agreement with them too that their wages come down. And when I say their wages come down, I'm talking significantly. Kai Havertz has no business being anywhere close to £200,000 a week. All right. Kai Havertz should be on after his Chelsea stint, should be at best at £180,000 a week. At best. All right, what's Saliba earning? I don't know how much Saliba is earning right now, but Kai Havertz shouldn't be anywhere close to earning anything higher than what Saliba is earning, right? Kai Havertz shouldn't be earning. Okay, I think I'm gonna just leave it at that. 150. Kai Havertz shouldn't be earning anything more than £150,000 a week from Arsenal. For what you bring to this club? No, you don't deserve that. You don't. That's just the God honest truth. We shouldn't lie to each other. You're a good player, but you're not a great player. You're not worth the amount of wages that you're on. Especially considering we need to bring in game changers who will actually be worth those wages, right? Now back to Mikel Arteta. All that you're gonna need to change. You're gonna need to sell one of them two centre forwards, right? In the summer, in order for you to buy the target that you want to buy, you're gonna have to sell one of those two. All right. Now, your first 11. You have a left back, Miles Lewis Skilly, who's actually a central midfielder, right? So your left back is a central midfielder. Rice, our record signing, is actually a defensive midfielder who's playing upfield in the 8 position. Not just the 8 position, by the way. Like, if he was playing the right side of the field, that'd be a lot better. You have a right-sided defensive player playing on the left side on his weaker foot when he's not technically gifted. I don't know how that makes sense to anybody, but, if I was the manager of Arsenal Football Club and that's what I was trying to do, I'd actually put Declan Rice on his stronger foot, the right side of the field, and put Martin Odegaard, the more technically gifted player, on the left hand side of the field. Because that makes more sense. You allow Declan Rice to actually use his stronger foot predominantly. Now you put him on his weaker foot and you expect him to do bits. I don't know. I honestly, I don't know where Mikel Arteta learns these things, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, your 6 is playing in the 8 position when he's not technically gifted. He's not offering you anything in the final third, except for when he takes set pieces. Yeah, those corners bend it like Beckham, boy. Oh, unfortunately, it's not too consistent either. Now, meanwhile, your captain, D10, is actually an 8. And during all that, we play anyone who seems to be able to get a goal every now and again at the center forward position. So you got a makeshift left back, makeshift left 8, right? A makeshift 10, a makeshift center forward. So that's basically 4 of your 4 of your 11, right? A third of your team playing out of position. whilst your left wing is not really performing up to scratch. Oh, that's 5 positions that are underperforming. So one reason or the other that could be rectified, but you choose not to rectify it, right? You could just as easily take Miles Lewis-Skelly and put him at the 8, right, where Declan Rice is playing. And then you'd have a more technically gifted player playing the 8 position. Or if you didn't trust a teenager playing that position, you could a long time ago taken the actual number 8 that you have, Martin Odegaard, and played him in the 8 position, right? Had him drop back and pick up the ball from deep and play it up, right? Because he plays the 10 that same, he actually plays his number 10 position as if he's playing the 8. He will drop back so deep that he's collecting the ball from the back 4, the way Declan Rice should be. And then you'll have Declan Rice making runs for upfield ahead. And you're wondering, okay, you got your 10 coming all the way back to collect the ball from your back 4 from Thomas Partey. Meanwhile, what's Declan Rice doing? He's just running around aimlessly. You see now, so we got a problem. You paid £105 million just to play a guy out of position. Like, you didn't do any scouting before you paid the money for this guy. You should have known he couldn't play the ball out the back. £105 million is a waste of money at that point when you actually deep it. You're paying so much money for someone who can't do the things that you need him to do. Point that you end up putting him out of position just so you can have him in your first 11 based on the amount of money you spent on him. Same thing you're doing in Kai Havertz. Now you play him out of position just so you can have him in the first 11 considering the amount of money you pay for him. Like, oh, you got all these guys playing out of position every time, bro. I mean, if I'm Declan Rice playing out of position, seeing us going 2 to 3 seasons chasing the title with no striker, what does that say to you about the club's ambition, right? Season 3, competing for the title, your 4 is going down before January window, and you do nothing to try and remediate that? Where does your process start and end? What is your goal if you're not trying to push for the title? Second place, your second place in January, going into January, your second place with no striker after competing previous 2 seasons, and you do nothing to kick on. Absolutely nothing. You choose, you know what? We don't kick on. We don't need to kick on. We're in a great position. We can just be comfortable right now. Can you be comfortable? I'm gonna remind y'all of something that, it's not gonna bring back fond memories. And to be frank, if you're a young Arsenal fan who is wholly, like, truly, madly, deeply behind this Mikel Arteta process, I got a bit of a rude awakening for you. I'm gonna just ring off a few names, and if you don't know what they got in common, I'm gonna tell you what these guys got in common. Thierry Henry, Ashley Cole, Samir Nasri. Hell, let me go further back. Emmanuel Petit, Mark Overmars. You got Robin Van Persie. Why am I naming these former Arsenal players? Right? They left Arsenal in their prime to go to more ambitious football clubs, right? Thierry Henry left Arsenal Football Club because he wanted to win the UEFA Champions League. He went to Barcelona. He won the Champions League. Ashley Cole just wanted to win trophies, right? But not only did he just want to win trophies, but he had been low-balled on wage offer by Arsenal. So he was like, oh, so y'all don't respect me to that point? Okay, fine. I'm going to go to someone who maybe will show me a little more respect in that regard. He went to Chelsea. He won himself Premier League title, Champions League title, if I'm not mistaken, right? You look at Samir Nasri, right? Football club, a club of no ambition. He sees Cesc Fabregas. Who actually left first? Cesc Fabregas or Samir Nasri? I can't remember. All right? So Samir Nasri ends up leaving for Manchester City, right? Why? Because he wants to win trophies as well, right? Emmanuel Petit, he left for Barcelona. Mark Overmars left for Barcelona. Robin van Persie left for Man United. Gets to Man United, wins them a Premier League title. I'm saying Robin van Persie again. Cesc Fabregas, right? Grew up at Arsenal. Made his debut at what, 16, 17 years old? Became youngest Arsenal captain, if I'm not mistaken. Then realized, this football club is putting all this weight on my shoulders. Why am I being asked to carry this team? Why do I have these average footballers around me? These guys don't seem too ambitious at all. So what am I going to do? If Arsenal's not going to show me ambition, I'm going to show them ambition and leave for a football club that is ambitious. He left, went to his boyhood club. Barcelona, played his dream. And when he actually had the opportunity to come back to the Premier League, you know who was offered Cesc Fabregas? Arsene Wenger, Arsenal Football Club. We turned that offer down. He went to Chelsea. He won another Premiership title. Or rather, not another. He won his first Premiership title at Chelsea Football Club. He's probably more a Chelsea legend than he is an Arsenal Football Club legend now. Cesc Fabregas. Right? So now, why am I saying all this? Why am I mentioning all these players who left Arsenal Football Club at their prime? At their prime, why am I mentioning these players who left Arsenal Football Club at their prime, right? I'm just saying, don't be surprised seeing Saka in a Chelsea Man City fit suit. Don't be mad when you see William Saliba in a Madrid's fit soon. Right? Because you're not showing them doing all you can to win. Because you're not seemingly doing all you can to win. This has been here a couple years now. Don't make no mistake. Is he going to be enthusiastic to resign when his contract renewal comes up? You think he's going to run to put his signature down? I don't know. I mean, if he's a player of ambition, like he said when he came here, I don't know. Remember, he came here after winning what do they call that? Europa Conference League with West Ham. He captained them to that. Some football club ain't even won the Europa League. It's called, right? Europa League? I can't even say it right. So how enthusiastic 2 seasons on, seeing how the football club reacts to being in a competitive position in January with the team that's won the league previous 2 years ahead of them, way back in the standings, and only one team ahead of them who have got a new manager. How do you think Declan Rice feels seeing Arsenal Football Club doing nothing in the January transfer window, knowing their centre forward is down, their star winger is down, and then watching their other makeshift centre forward going down? How do you think Declan Rice feels? Looking around, huffing and puffing, doing the best he can to make the best of the situation he has. If I'm Declan Rice, I'm not very enthusiastic to resign. I'm just saying. I'm not. I want to be, but I'm not. And then after our last loss, Mikel Arteta comes out saying, and I quote, "I'm very, very angry, very disappointed, and that was nowhere near the level needed to win the Premier League title." My man, your response to your centre forwards going down is that is nowhere near the level required to win the Premier League title. You can't sit back when your striker and your star winger go down and do nothing in a January transfer window that's allowing you to rectify the errors that you made in the summer, as well as the incidents that have occurred in the first half of the season. This is a window that allows you to rectify this, and then you choose to do nothing, and then you want to come and talk about your players in this manner? That they didn't play to the level that you require? You have not supported them to the level that is required of you. So before you sit there and complain and have a go at your own players, like, maybe you should look in the mirror. Maybe you should ask yourself, why didn't you buy a center forward in the summer? Why didn't you buy a center forward 2 summers ago? Why didn't you buy a center forward in January? Right? You can't sit there and start pointing fingers at other people when you chose, okay, let me spend the 65 million on Kai Havertz and give him 275,000 a week wages, when you could have spent that money on an actual striker, right? Spend 65 million on the Havertz, 40 odd million on Calafiori. That's 105 million, right? If you add the 30 odd million you spent on Mikel Merino, that's 130 million. These are all players that don't give you any significant contribution. Kai Havertz doesn't give you any significant contribution. Not one that an actual center forward of the quality of Victor Gyökeres, Victor Osimhen, Alexander Isak could give you. They could give you much more output than Kai Havertz would. If you spent 130 million on one of them, they would give you more output than all the 3 players that you actually spent that money on are giving you right now. So I'm looking at the way you're spending your money, and I'm thinking to myself, yo, if I'm the owner, I don't know if I want to keep giving you money like that. You work with what you got until your next budget comes up, right? Until your budget is renewed, restored, you work with what you got, because clearly when I give you money, you don't spend it the right way. Right? This man goes on to congratulate West Ham and went on to further berate his team's performance. Mind you, his squad did not decide not to make any purchases in January. Mikel Arteta, this was your decision. You and your board, y'all made this decision. Y'all made this decision to low blow Aston Villa. Y'all made the decision to not only low blow Aston Villa, but take the entire January transfer window to make a decision and come to an agreement within your board that you actually need a center forward. Why does it take y'all so long to make a decision to go after something that you've been needing for 2 seasons, if not more? Y'all want to make those purchases when you get desperate. And then you call yourselves unlucky when you're unable to make those purchases, and then the season unfolds the way it is. Not actively trying to rectify situations before they occur. You're literally living life on the wing. You're just winging it. Oh, I don't need a center forward. Kai Havertz scored double digits last season, so I'm pretty sure he can do it again. We can run that back this season. All of a sudden, your style of play changes. You're not the exciting team that you were a season or 2 ago. Why has your style changed? Okay, your style changed because the first challenging season you had, you were playing some exceptionally attacking football, but unfortunately, you lost the center back and then your defense collapsed. The next season, you came back and you said, you know what? We're going to tighten up on defense, right? As if you didn't realize the only reason your defense collapsed is because you didn't have any backup at your center back position that was of the quality that was needed. You only had Rob Holding, right? So you actually didn't need to change your style of play. What you needed to do was not change your style of play. What you actually needed to do is just get some backup and go again with the same style of play, but having that defensive structure to fall back on. But you denied yourself these things. You was like, you know what? I'm gonna do away with my attacking flair, I'm gonna tell my players, you know what? Let's tone down on that attacking. Let's concentrate on our defense. Let's lock up on our defense to the point that Martinelli is so engaged in a defensive dynamic that his forward play has deteriorated, right? We're not creating as many chances as we were before. All of a sudden, we got Declan Rice, who should be playing the 8, who should be playing the 6, so he's playing the left 8 alongside Martinelli. And now we're wondering why Martinelli's not doing as well as we expect him to, but who we got alongside him? We got Declan Rice alongside him, who's not technically gifted in the final third, so he's not going to have the attacking mindset that an actual central attacking midfielder, not a defensive midfielder, right? He's not going to have the attacking mindset of a central midfielder who's attacking minded, of an attacking central midfielder, right? To support the winger beside him, to support Martinelli the same way Saka gets support from Martin Odegaard, right? Martinelli doesn't have that, and then we are here wondering why Martinelli is struggling so much. Okay, as much as Bukayo Saka gets double teamed, at least he's got Martin Odegaard to support him. At least he's got Julian Timber or Ben White, whoever it may be, to support. Bukayo Saka has got Martin Odegaard, he's got Julian Timber, he's got Ben White, 2 guys to support him every time he gets double teamed. Martinelli, who does he have? He looks to his side, he sees who? Declan Rice. He gives Declan Rice the ball. Declan Rice, 8 times out of 10, he's passing the ball backwards, right? Or he's trying to run it through a wall or something. He's not making the pass that an attacking-minded player would make, right? He's not seeing the runs that an attacking-minded player would see, right? So Martinelli makes a run, and it looks like, oh, he's running like a headless chicken. Why? Because Declan Rice is not seeing that pass, right? Or Martinelli has the ball and Declan Rice is not making the run that Martinelli needs him to make, right? So there's a lot of things that are going into these performances. Your players have not left themselves short to the point that you can berate them in the media, and they decided, as if your players decided not to make any purchases in January. Not purchase a center forward in the summer, two summers ago, right? You still have a hole in your central midfield that if you've signed Martin Zubimendi, you're going to need to sign another central midfielder. Because guess what? You're still going to have the same issue next season. You're still not going to want to play Declan Rice in his natural position, which is why you brought Martin Zubimendi to play that 6th position, which means you're probably going to carry on playing Declan Rice in the 8th position, which means you're still going to be handicapping whoever's going to come in to play that left wing because they're not going to have the technical support that they require from that left 8 position. So what have you done with the money that these owners have given you? You see, people keep saying the Arsenal ownership don't give Mikel Arteta the money he requires to build the team that he needs to build, right? But Mikel Arteta spent £105 million on a defensive midfielder who he doesn't even want to play in that position. He spent £65 million on a central midfielder who he doesn't even play in that position. He paid £40 million on a Calafiori who's benching for a 17-year-old. He spent £30 million on another left back who's benching behind that same 17-year-old, right? This past summer, you spent £35 million on another very average central midfielder who you're now trying to play at center forward because you have no center forward options because, quite frankly, you have not tried to make a center forward purchase in God knows how many seasons, 3, 4 seasons. Has Mikel Arteta bought a center forward? Okay, I suppose Gabriel Jesus in 5 seasons, one center forward. How many goalkeepers you buy already? How many left backs have you bought? Backs have you bought? When you bought one center forward. Okay. All right. We're serious. We really are. So now these are actually rookie errors. This if you were to define rookie errors, these may sound like I'm blabbing, but come on, y'all. It's naive to think you finished well without a recognizable striker last season and you can go again challenging this season. Who taught you that you play so many players out of position, you'll give your team the best possible chance to win whilst playing all these players out of position? I don't know who taught you these things. I'm just saying we're at a point where in the summer we'll need another £300 million just right. We're at a point where in the summer we'll need £300 million just to keep us on track. Because at the very least, in terms of our starters, we need a Partey replacement. We need an 8. We need a left wing. We need a centre forward. We could find ourselves rebuilding again in the summer, which is not where we should be, to be frank, right? Havertz and Jesus, the guys you count on in a forward, are collectively on plus 500,000 a week. So there is no wage space for another center forward. What will our solution be come the summer? Because either you bring those two wages down or you sell one, either one in order for you to bring in this actual center forward worth those wages. And don't end up with 3 center forward closing in on £1 million. I said this before. I reiterate it again, right? You've left yourself in a bind with a lot of these signings. Fabio, Kivio, Calafiori, have Reno. I don't know how many. Like I said, I don't know how many goalkeepers you've bought, but my goodness, you seem to have an endless budget for that. Yet you've only purchased one center forward. 5 years, and he can't even play that much, right? On significantly high wages. So there's a lot of wastage that has happened, which is why I can't look at the owners at all and say, why are you not investing? Because if the word is that these owners don't know football, then surely the money provided this far should have been spent better, as people hired, I assume, know football. And went on to blow the budget, right? If the fans are accusing the owners of not knowing football, of just being businessmen, just buying Arsenal Football Club because they have business interests, right? If that is the reason you believe your owners bought the football club, why would they keep giving a wasteful manager money? Why would they keep giving him money? Why would they not just say, okay, you have an allotment. Every summer you have an allotment. You spent your allotment. That's how you decided to spend it. Why would they give him an increment on his allotment when he's not spending the allotment that he actually is being allotted correctly, right? If I'm the owner, I'm looking at the club and I'm like, oh, but you spent your allotment. You bought Declan Rice for £105 million. You bought Kai Havertz for £65 million. So I'm sorry, but if that's how you decide to spend your money, there's nothing I can do about that. That's how you decide to spend your money. Then all I can say is, if you need more money, wait till the summer, you get a new budget, and then you can spend more money. But right now, I'm not going to give you more money just because you seem to be in a crisis, because a season or so ago, a summer window, a transfer window or so ago, you just decided to spend your money on players that you're now playing out of position. But now you come to me acting all desperate. I'm not going to give you that money. I'm sorry.
And you can't act like a university kid away from home. You spend your whole budget and then come crying back, calling me halfway through the month, asking me to top you up. That's not gonna work. You a kid. If you were that kid, I'd be like, you know what? I can't leave you starving out there. Son, I can't leave you starving out there. Right? You're not that. You're a rookie, but you're a grown ass man. You should know how to run a budget. And if you can't run this budget, you're gonna have to suffer until you get a new allotment, right? Until you get to your summer, get some more money, you know, and then you can spend that money. The club is making a profit. You wait for your money. You wait for your budget to be allotted to you, and hopefully, you've learned from your mistakes. And the next budget you get, you spend it correctly. And I'm saying this with love because you are a rookie. This is your first managerial job. So I understand you will make mistakes. Hopefully you will learn from the mistakes that you've made. And when you get your next budget, you'll decide, okay, I actually need a ball playing defensive midfielder. So maybe Declan Rice is not the right profile I need, right? Go off and you buy the profile you need. Okay, so now I brought the profile I need. What am I going to do with Declan Rice? Because surely I need the right profile to play in that left position if I want to be successful, if I want to give my team the best chance to win. I actually need to get a creative guy, a box creative 8, right? A guy who can actually offer me something in that final third in open play. He can find a pass. He can see a run and make that pass. He can make a run himself, right? Hope realize, okay, Declan Rice is not the best man for this job, so I need to bring in another guy. So what am I going to do with Declan Rice? Hopefully you're going to be brave enough to either say, okay, Declan Rice, are you willing to bring down your wages? Can I put you on the bench for Martin Zubimendi? So I can put someone who can actually play the 8 to the potential that I need to the expectation that I need that position to be played at. That's the kind of growth I'm looking to see from my manager here at 2025, 2026, because I know he's not going anywhere. They're not going to fire this man. If these owners are businessmen like y'all say they are, they're not going to fire him. They're second place in the league. They're in the knockout stages of the Champions League. Why would they fire? Why would they fire a successful manager? He's making a profit, right? All they're going to tell him is, if you have any ambition of your own, when I bought this football club, I told you, I said it out loud. I said it in public. This is Stan Kroenke, by the way. I did not buy Arsenal Football Club to win trophies. I said this. If you, as the manager, want to win trophies, you better spend this budget correctly. You better spend this budget as well as you can, right? You better make the right you better not buy another Kai Havertz who's out of form just to try and bring him back into form. And then when you realize he can't be fixed in that central midfield, you move him to another position where you actually need to bring in someone of quality. And then now you got, right, hopefully you learn from these mistakes that you've made, Mikel Arteta, going forward, right? Because you are actually a good manager. Like, it's not easy to come into the Premier League, to go into any league, quite frankly. And on your first go as a manager, do what Mikel Arteta has done. The only thing that you hope for Mikel Arteta is, I hope that you, as a young manager, have learnt enough, are willing to change. That's because you can't be stuck in your ways in your first job. You can't just be sitting stuck in your ways in your first job. You have to be willing to adapt. Because yes, you things correctly to us And this is why you are in the position you're in. This is why Arsenal Football Club is in the Champions League the past couple of years consecutively. This is why Arsenal Football Club has been competing for the title the past 3 years consecutively, because you seem to have an idea of knowing how to go about what you're trying to do. The only thing I ask for is growth. I need you to show growth. I need you to show change. I need you to show you can adapt. You're not stuck in your ways. You will change, right? You see, you've done things a certain way. Okay, this is your second season now. You've changed your style of play. The first season you competed for the title, you played a very entertaining attacking style of football, right? You lost a few defenders and you lost your way towards the end of the season. You fell away from the title chase, right? Second time you chased the title, you played a more rigid style of football. Still a little more flair, but more rigid, right? You still didn't make it, right? Third season, you're on a title charge again. This time, you're extremely rigid, right? You're a low block team. You seem to have lost all your flair. You have everyone talking about you. Where has Arsenal's flair gone, right? So now you're in your third title charge, second of which you're playing defensive football. So maybe on your fourth title charge next season, 2025-2026 Premier League season, maybe you go back to how you started. Maybe you go back to that entertaining flair football, that Granit Xhaka final season football. That football where Granit Xhaka was telling himself, you know what? I'm gonna be gone in the summer, so I'm gonna just make the best of the situation right now. They're gonna remember me, right? Maybe you need to go back to that style of football and just make sure that you have defensive reinforcements, that if at all William Saliba goes down, you've got somebody there to cover of quality you trust, right? Maybe that's the solution. Maybe the solution isn't actually changing your style of play. Maybe it's just having a sufficient squad of sufficient quality that you know, if my star center back goes down, I've got a quality center back on the bench that I can just put in there, slot right in there, and nothing will change. If my star winger goes down, I got a really nice winger waiting in the wings, who I can just slot in there and he'll do a job for me. We'll get it done. We will not drop a level. And even if we do drop a level, we will still be at an optimal level. So maybe maybe go back to the entertainment, right? If you're not gonna win titles, let your fans enjoy the journey. Don't let your fans after every game go back like, okay, it was 1-0. It wasn't very entertaining, but at least we got the win. Don't let that be the story of every Arsenal season from now on. Yeah, at least we got the win. It wasn't a great performance. Up until the point where you get so many of those performances, you start getting worried about what if the team actually comes and just puts a low block on us like they've been doing recently, and then you can't break them down like we've been doing recently. We can't break it. So listen, I'm just saying, maybe it's time to go back to that attacking football, because you seem to have enough left backs to cover. You seem to have enough center backs to cover now. So why not let loose next season? Just go back to that style of football. That Granit Xhaka final season at Arsenal. Go back to that style of football, you know? Let the fans enjoy watching their football club. Give yourself the best chance of being in every fan's favor, because we know you're a great manager. Don't get me wrong, we know you're a great coach, manager, but decisions sometimes don't give you the best opportunity to display your greatness as a coach, as a manager. Because like I said, right? if we gave you Bayer Leverkusen, you could have possibly done what Xabi Alonso done there. You know, just because Xabi Alonso went invincible doesn't make him a better manager than you, because he couldn't guarantee Arsenal Football Club what you've done in the Premier League, because we all know the Bundesliga is a totally different kettle of fish. Oh, listen. This is Excalibur Clock End. I am OG, DBNK. You don't got to say the OG, but do say the DBNK. Some do say debunk. It is what it is, you know. Like, subscribe. Listen, let's grow the community. Leave us a comment. This episode 1 has been fun, has been great. Here for more. Hopefully, we'll be here for more. That's all I'm saying. Hopefully, we'll be here for more. Hopefully, we'll be. We have Nottingham Forest today, so that's in an hour or so, a couple hours. Let me just check the time. Now we kick off in about an hour, so yeah. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. That's all I got for now. Good luck. Excalibur Clock End, Arsenal Football Club, episode 1, Excalibur Clock End, OG. DBNK, that is me, debunk. I do some of that debunking sometimes, but yeah, done being nice now no more. Please join me again, come back. Pleasure having y'all. Let's grow the community. Leave us a like, comment. Let's have some conversations in them comments, right? And please. All right, y'all. Subscribe. Peace.